But now China's crackdown seems unstoppable. How do you see the situation in Hong Kong today? How can people in exile like you can help?
You know, what's been happening in Hong Kong and is still happening in Hong Kong is unprecedented as well in Hong Kong. We've never seen anything like that. In the past, even though after 1997 we're handed back to China as part of China, but the deal is that we will have freedom and democracy. That's why we are willing to be part of China. So in the past decades, even though it's not a democracy, but we were given some degree of freedom and autonomy, and human rights was basically respected. But only 2 years ago, during the 2019 freedom movement in Hong Kong, so the Hong Kong regime introduced anti-extradition bills, under which anyone can be extradited back to China for trials. So it totally crossed the line. So that will means we won't have any freedom that we've been enjoying. So over the past 2 years, we've experienced street protests, massive of them. 1 million people joined, and the other occasion 2 million people joined, and then people's spirit was so high, and we were so united. Hong Kongers were all waking up. So we took to the streets, but then what we received was police brutalities with all kinds of weapons, water cannons, rubber bullets, and all kinds of bullets that you would imagine, and police baton. And so, but that part is already been done. That part's finished. Now what we're facing is endless, countless persecutions in court cases. So the regime has been sending people to jails. It's very similar to what's happening in Belarus, and similar numbers, if not more. And so now we've gone to the next stage of having the new legislation, national security law, under which the whole electoral system is gone from half democracy now to a totally authoritarianism. So we don't have any representatives. So, and civil society has been cracked down, journalists been cracked down, sent to jails, teachers, professional lawyers, all facing criminal prosecutions. So what we are doing now is that it's a big question for Hong Kongers. It's very, very risky now to go back to the streets because they not only beat you up, they lock you up for life. So it's very, very hard to get ourselves organized because they monitor social medias, they monitor what you speak publicly. So it's very, very hard to organize on any organizations, NGOs. So we are relying much more as an international city, so-called, on international lobbying and advocacies, and hoping that under economic pressure, perhaps, that China will change its strategies towards Hong Kong, and making sure that China perhaps won't be benefiting from international treaties, from international trades, from all of those kinds of corporations of any kind, that it will change its attitude. More on top, it's hard to imagine and think of anything more than that in order for China, with the world superpower, to change its attitude now. So what's the struggle of Hong Kongers now is more under the table. So we've transformed into more subtle ways of spreading our message out while keeping our spirit high when we can't take it to the streets. But it's still a big question. I'll leave it later for the discussion of how we do it under the table and how we support other freedom fighters, not openly, but secretly in Hong Kong.